Does this unicorn look like a cuddly animal to you?
Oh, how adorable, she's shy.
Does it cross your mind that this little creature could offer some kind of threat, or that someone might not like it?
You have failed me for the last time.
How can it be possible? It's so adorable that I want to hold it in my lap. However, this harmless, cuddly unicorn apparently had an enemy. Someone who didn't think so highly of it. Someone who wanted it gone. What a heartless person. Well, looking at the painting, it looks so ordinary and peaceful, except for the unicorn. It is adorable, but it looks out of place. I mean, what is a mystical creature doing there? Huh? Lady with the Unicorn, also known as Portrait of a Young Woman with a Unicorn, is a painting by Raffaelo Sanzio, or simply Raphael. According to art historians, this painting dates from 1505 or 1506. In this painting, you see a young woman with blonde hair with a penetrating expression, sitting in front of a loggia all open to the landscape behind. Is she looking at someone? Because if so, she seems to hate this person. Anyway, in her arms is a small creature with a horn on its head, a unicorn. Wait, doesn't the unicorn look a little uncomfortable? Or does it also hate what it's seeing, since its gaze and the lady seem to be directed in the same direction? She looks young, as the title of the painting already reveals, but she was probably close to adulthood. She possesses a remote beauty, which resonates with more coldness than sensuality. On the other hand, the unicorn gives her an aspect of tenderness, only this one does not look like a typical fairy tale unicorn. It doesn't sparkle and it doesn't look magical. Her unicorn looks more like a fragile animal. She seems to have the essence of motherhood for caring for this creature, which leans towards her arm. The young woman's gaze doesn't give many clues like the little animal's eyes. Her eyes show no emotions. This creates a desire in the observer to know more about her and what she feels. This coldness and her apparent virginity seem to leave her isolated. Will she have the chance to meet true love? This is an extremely detailed and realistic painting, with lighting that highlights the intensity of the young woman's gaze and gives the work a convincing sense of something immediate. Something is about to happen, and both the figure and the animal seem to be waiting for it. There is a richness of color and detail through the use of tempera, a type of pigment common at the time. It is even possible that the little unicorn was originally white, but the removal of the overpaint during the restoration took away some of the animal's light tone. The portrait is an oil on canvas, but it was not always so. Initially, it was an oil on panel, which was later transferred to a canvas in 1934 during its restoration. In the course of this process, it was discovered that a part of the painting was actually overpainted. Yes, someone dared to brush over work by Raphael. What? That's right! Just imagine. The unicorn, the real star of this painting, was not there. Yes, he was covered. Justice for the poor unicorn. The little animal was hidden behind a set of elements, a wheel, a cloak that covered the woman's shoulders, and a palm. These elements are believed to have been included by an unknown painter in the 17th century. How did he have the courage to do this to a painting of Raphael? Why would he do this to such a cute animal? Did he hate the unicorn by any chance? Did he find this little animal ugly? What a jerk. The unicorn that the young woman holds in her lap is a symbol of purity. After restoring the painting, we discovered that it was hidden behind these elements: the broken martyrdom wheel of St. Catherine of Alexandria, the palm, and the cloak covering the young woman's bare shoulders. This repainting was probably done in the late 17th century, according to a 1682 description that said the canvas appeared to be badly peeled. Now, pay more attention to the picture. Doesn't it look familiar? Doesn't the composition of the lady with the unicorn remind you of another famous painting, perhaps? If you look closely enough, you can see that it was inspired by Leonardo da Vinci's famous Mona Lisa, painted a few years earlier. In fact, the two painters had a connection, as they both spent time in Florence. It was Da Vinci who influenced Raphael to explore greater complexity and dynamism in his art. Here, Raphael uses the pose, the half-portrait size, the compositional structure, and the spatial organization of the Mona Lisa. But the female figure in Lady with the Unicorn possesses a cold gaze, different from the enigmatic ambiguity of the figure in Da Vinci's painting. Honestly, they would be best friends or enemies. Their resting bitch face matches somehow. For a while, it was believed that the Lady with the Unicorn was a painting by Granacci or Rodolfo del Ghirlandaio, but later it was attributed to Raphael. There was no debating this after looking at the sketch of the work, which is in the Louvre. The sketch is the basis of Lady with the Unicorn and leaves no doubt that Raphael was its original painter. But does this painting have some secrets? Something to discover? Time to investigate. As you can notice, the young woman has no ring on her fingers. And what on earth does this have to do with anything, you might ask? A portrait of a woman without rings was unusual for the time, because female portraits used to be made on wedding occasions when women wore this prop. Perhaps she was an unmarried young woman. Well, it would make sense, since besides the unicorn's meaning of purity, medieval legends also told that only virgins could tame unicorns. A curious fact is that the painting was first mentioned under the title Saint Catherine of Alexandria in 1760. It was considered a portrait of an unknown lady who had the attributes of a martyred saint, Saint Catherine. So perhaps the fact that she wears no rings and holds a symbol of chastity is because she's a saintly figure. Could this be possible? After the painting underwent restoration between 1934 and 1936, where it was then attributed to Raphael, it was restored again in 1959. This time, the young woman with a unicorn was one of the first paintings in history to undergo an X-ray radiograph. Only after this study did they discover that the unicorn was also included later. Yes, he was not in the original version.
What?
In the first version, Raphael painted a dog. So originally, this painting was a portrait of a young woman with a dog in her arms. And this totally changes the meaning of the painting. Aha! I immediately saw that this unicorn looked a little different. In some bizarre way, it looks a bit like a dog, doesn't it? Don't you think so? Not really. Well, you can consider that Raphael simply used the dog as a unicorn model and then added the horn. I mean, he had no way of using a real unicorn model, right? Okay, back to the point. At the time Raphael made Young Woman with a Unicorn, the image of a dog in a painting was associated with marital fidelity. In any case, perhaps the restorers found the dog ugly or preferred to respect Raphael's own alteration, as in the 1959 restoration, the unicorn was left intact, a true survivor. There's no certainty as to why Raphael decided to swap the dog for the unicorn, but there is some speculation, of course. The inclusion of the unicorn in place of the dog seems to herald not only the purity of the young woman, but also signals that she may be about to marry. It is like a warning to her future husband, showing that she is powerful and seductive. These types of portraits were common among aristocratic couples of that time, and intended to advertise the best feminine characteristics of the young woman, such as her good looks, her virtuous nature, and her virginity. Notice how her fingers intimately wrap around the unicorn's front legs, suggesting that she has power over the mystical creature. But now I am honestly confused. What is this woman anyway? A saint? A pure but unmarried young woman? Someone's bride or someone's wife? Or none of the above? What's your guess? Yeah, it's not entirely clear who this stoic, blue-eyed young lady is. There are guesses that she is the young Maddalena Strozzi, Agnolo Doni's wife, because the features of the two are similar. Others say that the model in this painting by Raphael is Giulia Farnese, the mistress of Pope Alexander VI, Rodrigo Borgia. Experts arrived at this hypothesis because the symbol of the Farnese family was the unicorn. Wow! There's another theory related to the Pope, but this one says that the young woman was Laura Orsini della Rovere, apparently an illegitimate daughter of his. Well, no one knows for sure. She is a mystery yet to be unraveled. This young lady remains a perfect enigma. Anyway, taking all these possibilities into account, one answer that would make sense is that the painting was commissioned for a wedding that was to take place, and that the unicorn is a symbol proving the chastity of the bride. I can tell that this would be a very unique gift for the groom. Ahem. I wonder if he liked it, and if he was also charmed by the unicorn. So cute! So, what's your opinion about Lady with the Unicorn? Do you think the painting looks better in this original form, with the mystical creature, with the dog perhaps, or without any animal? I wouldn't have the courage to cover this cute unicorn. If you like this video and want to see more content about unicorn paintings, I mean about restored paintings and more works like this, don't forget to leave your like here, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications for new videos. See you next time!